Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, April 29th. So the moon is going to leave this Leo energy to shift into Virgo energy. We talked about this in the ascension forecast for this week, how we started the week off with the moon in Gemini, Mercury ruled, and how we're ending the week off with Virgo, Mercury ruled. What did we have in between this Mercury sandwich? We had Venus really pop off, really get our heart activated and in alignment, in attempt to bring our heart and head on the same page so that we can actively start making plans and coming up with a strategy on what it is that we have to reorganize, restructure, kind of, transform in our lives. All of those words that accompany retrograde. Of course, we're still in eclipse season, so we don't have a whole lot of power to make some major move. We're still very susceptible to wild card energies until this portal closes on May 19th with the new moon in Taurus. We still have a full moon lunar eclipse to go, especially in Scorpio energy. That's going to be super revealing. So right now we are very much at the very pivotal point where we are going to start seeing solutions instead of problems, where we are going to start seeing new directions and paths, new opportunities emerge. Instead of looking back, we are going to start piecing together how it is that we will be moving forward. So the moon in Virgo will go void, of course, at 6:54 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll lock into that Virgo energy at 3 p.m., which does make for a little bit of a chunk of time where things are going to be a little bit wackadoodle, where we're going to have a lot of anxiety, a lot of restlessness kind of creep in. The insecurities, the doubts, the fears are going to get pretty loud. And the transition from Leo energy to Virgo energy is always a little bit of an abrupt one, because that fiery energy from Leo has us all hopped up on good vibes, very bold, very courageous in what it is that we've realized and what it is that we want to pursue from here. And then boom, we hit that earth energy of Virgo. We move all up into the mental plane. We move out of the heart space that Leo had us kind of anchored in. We move into the head space. We start picking things apart. We're focusing on the smaller details. The one thing that we can count on with the moon in Virgo is that we will be identifying problems in order to solve them. This is the fixer of the zodiac, especially where our physical and mental health is concerned, in our physical realms with our physical bodies. And we are going to attempt to put things in its place. We are attempting to take the craziness, take the chaos, especially in our inner realms, and give it a purpose, give it a spot, create order where everything is kind of unorganized. So there are 8 different aspects here today. 7 of them involve the moon. The moon is going to trine Jupiter. Now, this is the very last aspect that the moon in Leo will make before shifting into Virgo energy. So the moon in Leo is trining, beautiful blending of energies, with Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion, who is in Aries energy. This is what gives us our trine. It's fire on fire. What is fire good for? Well, fire is good for burning away the old, kind of, I'm going to say, give us a clean slate, activate and initiate new passions, new desires, new realizations, especially where the heart space is concerned. And because Jupiter is involved, we're going to have some big feels. Jupiter magnifies everything, turns the volume up on everything, and in this Aries energy is trying to really hype us up to make some moves, to go out in the world and create not only a new identity for ourselves, but new opportunities for our new identity to actually flourish in. So this is going to hype us up, give us some optimism, bring some confidence back, really put us in a good mood in order to see the possibilities that lay before us. This is when the moon goes void, of course, and while the moon is still in Leo energy, but void, we do have an interaction with Neptune. This is going to illuminate for us where it is that suddenly the vision, the dream, the excitement, the passion, the desire, the optimism, the confidence is going to shit. We are definitely going to feel a deep dive from that high vibratory energy that didn't last very long. We are going to start picking things apart, and it's going to become so overwhelming that we might want to just detach from life altogether. We don't want to deal with reality right now. We'd rather live in la la land. And the certainty, the surety that we have kind of resolved to or been illuminated to over the last couple of days with the moon in Leo, trying to activate our heart space and get us aligned with a new passion, a new excitement, a new path, a new direction, Suddenly, it is all falling down. Now, we're going to have to sit in the funk until 3 p.m. when the moon shifts into Virgo energy. But it's going to be heavy. It's going to be weighted. It is an earth sign. Now, the moon in Virgo's first interaction is with Pluto, the great transformer himself. And Pluto is in Aquarius energy, the very beginning degrees, again, preparing to go retrograde here on May 1st. We are going to do a deep dive in our mental plane, in our psyche. You likely have heard me talk about it before. What I love about Pluto and what I love about Virgo energy is they really like to dissect the mind, our psyche, the conscious and unconscious parts of it. We like to kind of move into the mental plane to figure out where the root cause of some of our narratives, some of our pain, some of our trauma is still alive and well. Again, the Virgo energy is here to kind of fix what it is that we are identifying needs fixing. But we have to feel it in order to heal it. Again, not something that many people enjoy doing. But what we're getting at here is there's going to be a huge, intense energy that comes over us. It's definitely going to take us down a dark narrative. We have to understand in Virgo energy, we have to dissect things. We have to break things down. We have to move into the darkness in order to even see the light. And that is exactly what is going to be happening with the moon in Virgo, kind of making this interaction with Pluto in Aquarius. And we are going to be seeing full stop where it is that we need to create better boundaries in our lives. Why, you may ask? Well, because we are all too easy to jump up and interrupt somebody else's karma by kind of, throwing ourselves in other people's lives and being of service. And we think we're doing a good thing. And we think that as long as we're taking care of other people, that we're going to be all right. Not to mention the fact that we're not taking care of ourselves. We fail to show up for ourselves the way we easily so do for other people. And the Aquarian energy that Pluto is in right now should be illuminating us to why we do that. Is it because we want to be liked? Is it because we feel more powerful and more in control of somebody else's lives than we do in our own? It's going to be very illuminating over the next couple of days on what it is that we unearth in patterns, in behaviors, in old thoughts, in old memories. Keep in mind that even though Virgo is an earth energy, it's ruled over by Mercury. Mercury is currently retrograde, so we are going to have to do some reflection, some reinvestigation, reevaluation, if you will, in order to have some realization on where it is that we need to make some changes. And a lot of those changes are going to include having stronger boundaries. So we have Mars, the god of war, ruling over physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desire, even our anger, in this Cancer energy that is not helping anyone out, may I add. Sextiling, which good for us, it's a beautiful energy, with Uranus, who of course, the great awakener, being in this Taurus energy, is trying to bust us away from our attachments. So we have to expect the unexpected anytime that Uranus is at play. He's trying to download us with aha moments, with epiphanies, with revelations in order to change our mind, change our perspective, change the path that we are currently walking. And we're getting a little bit hype with this particular energy. We're a little bit more open than we have been to new ideas, to new goals, to new paths. And they're definitely going to be out of the box because Uranus, he likes to do that. Likes to push us outside of our comfort zone and really think outside of the box. Now, the interesting part is that the Cancer energy that Mars is in, we tend to hold on to the old. We tend to reflect back to the past. We like to keep what is tried, tested, and true. Well, Uranus is not having any of that. He's all about progress. He's all about breaking, through the ceiling of the limiting beliefs that we have and the blockages that we are now identifying exist in our physical realm. And so the interesting dynamic here is that somehow we are opened up to let some things go. Where emotional baggage is concerned, where old attachments are concerned, where grudges are concerned, where pain and trauma is concerned, suddenly we're just like, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to let it go. And we take a risk in doing that. But what happens is that when you make that decision, even if you don't take any action, you make the decision to let it go. You kind of visualize yourself, putting those suitcases down. A beautiful thing happens. You feel lighter. There's no explanation for it, but you do feel lighter. And then what happens? All of a sudden, there's new possibilities. We have new goals. We have new inspirations. We have new dreams. The possibilities are endless now because we have free hands. We can create something new with our hands being freed from carrying those very, very heavy suitcases of emotion, of pain, of trauma, of memories. And so right now it's kind of like, wow, that was so easy. Like, why didn't we do that before? Well, that might be the question, but the answer is because it wasn't divinely scripted to happen. You needed to go through the pain and the suffering, the ups, the downs, the back and forth in order to come to this moment when you finally had enough, where your soul said, you know what, let's just try something different. Let's put this baggage down. Let's free these hands up to create something new and see what happens. Now, we want to ride this energy for as long as we can. It may be a very short window of opportunity, but we're definitely having some breakthroughs here. So make note of it, enjoy it while it lasts, and try to ride that wave. We go about 3 hours after this high, and that is when the moon in Virgo is likely going to bring us down a couple of pegs, because we interact with Chiron, the wounded healer. So this is an interesting dynamic because, again, just as we make some progress and take 2 steps forward, those darker force energies within us like to pull us on back. Well, the moon in Virgo and Chiron, the wounded healer, are definitely sitting at the table, and we're kind of picking the scabs off, if you will. We're reminding ourselves that, hey, did you actually pack that particular memory in the luggage that you just dropped? Because that was our main excuse to justify us for not making changes and making any progress. We might want to go back, unpack that suitcase, and pull that little trauma memory out so that we can continue to blame something other than our own selves. Okay, this is the name game. This is the guilt and the shame game. This is the betrayal game. This is the justification game. Here's the thing. We have to boss up. I know I've been talking about this for a long time. In case you haven't noticed, we're in a totally different landscape of energy than we were many moons ago, even not so many moons ago. We are in eclipse season. We are susceptible to wild card events. We are going through accelerated and rapid changes. And the want, need, and desire to hold on to the old pain, the old trauma, is very real. It's pretty hard to create something new when you're still in survival mode of elements of the past. And so this particular interaction is definitely going to highlight for us all of the reasons of why we should just simmer down on making the changes that we want to make, really squash the dreams, the visions, the goals that we just conjured up. Play it safe. Play the name game. Play the blame game. Play the trauma bond game. And justify not making anything out of what it is that we've currently been dealt. That choice is yours. The moon is going to semi-square Mars. Again, a little bit of a tension point. Now we're really picking apart that motivation, that determination, that inspiration, that breakthrough moment that we had earlier. We're really starting to kind of fluff ourselves up, if you will, justify why it is that we should just turn that hype down, get realistic that we probably can achieve all that we're setting out to do. Let that negative Nancy narrative just beat you down to the ground. And I mean that honestly, because you have to have a breakdown before you have a breakthrough. And trust me when I say that the breakthrough is just around the corner. The moon will interact with Venus in a positive way, which is definitely going to be a good shift out of the not so nice energies, the not so nice narratives that we've been sitting in as of late. This is going to be an aha moment on where it is that, guess what? We have to create something new. Why is that? Well, because we're in a situation right now where things aren't so happy. They don't feel so good. Doesn't feel so secure in our bodies, in our lives. Doesn't feel so stable. Like we don't know what's going to happen around the corner. And that's, really providing us with a lot of nervousness. Well, guess what? We're recognizing what it is that we have to build in our lives in order to provide us all of those things, because recognizing that we are lacking all of those things is a problem. And what is the moon in Virgo here to do? We're here to fix those problems. So what are we going to do? We're going to become heart aligned with Venus. We are going to use our beautiful, brilliant mindscape that the Mercury energy of Virgo rules over. And we are going to get to creating something different in our lives, especially where routines, relationships, and money matters are concerned. The last thing that we have going on here today is the moon in Virgo trining with the true node, the north node, if you will, in Taurus energy. We get some earth on earth action here. So This is a trine. This is a positive interaction. The true node is our soul path. It's our destiny point. It's the path, the direction that we need to be on in order to reach our soul's mission, our soul's potential, our soul's purpose. This tells me that we are making some progress in identifying the issues and coming up with solutions, because a trine suggests that we are blending the energies together and we are seeing growth, we are seeing progress, we are seeing plans, we are seeing strategies on how we're going to get out of this funk and get our ass on the right path to move forward into creating a brand new reality that feels a lot better than the one that we're currently sitting in.